Today on Panther TV, a world environmental leader visits Plymouth South. We sit down with Jane Goodall to hear her message for the students.
A new general store has opened up in downtown Plymouth. We'll take you inside.
And from the kitchen to the pastry case, we'll take you inside the culinary shop. These stories and more coming up. Panther TV starts now. Good morning, Plymouth South. Thanks for joining us. I'm Zach Adams.
And I'm Aiden Morrow. This fall, we welcome a special visitor here to Plymouth South.
World-renowned scientist Dr. Jane Goodall visited our school to share messages with students about how we can all do our part to make the world better.
Here's Jesse Hayes with more.
Recently, Dr. Jane Goodall visited Plymouth South High School, and after her lecture for students, I had the honor of having a sit-down interview and asking her a few more questions. What is the reason for your visit to Plymouth South High School today?
I try to go to schools wherever I go, everywhere in the world, from kindergarten through university and everything in between, to talk about roots and shoots, because the world is in such a mess. We need everybody to take action.
When did you first become interested in studying wildlife and the environment, and what inspired you to pursue this as a career?
Well, I was born loving animals. My dream of going to Africa to study wild animals and write books about them began when I was 10, having read Tarzan of the Apes. So I knew there wasn't a Tarzan, but to go and live with wild animals in Africa was my dream. And although we didn't have any money, my mother had said take any opportunity. So when I was invited to Kenya by a school friend for a holiday, I raised the money by working very, very hard as a waitress, and managed in that way to get out and meet the famous Dr. Louis Leakey, paleontologist, anthropologist, and it was he who gave me this opportunity to live with not just any animal, but the one most like us, the chimpanzee.
What do you feel is the most impactful part of your work and your life?
Well, I think there are two things which I hope to be remembered by. One is changing the scientific attitude towards animals and realizing and admitting that we're not the only beings on the planet with personalities, minds, and emotions. And we now know from chimpanzees, other apes, elephants, dolphins, birds, pigs, dogs, rats, down to the octopus, and even they say some insects are sentient beings. And so the chimps helped me to start that ball of change rolling. The second, starting Roots and Shoots, now in 69 countries around the world.
How does it feel to know your work and your passion are taught in the curriculums in several of our classes here at Plymouth South?
Well, I think it's wonderful, because I think I was put on this world to give, to help people understand that we are destroying the world, that we mustn't lose hope, because if we lose hope, we'll fail to take action, and then we're doomed. So the more places I can go, the more places pick up this message, the quicker we'll move towards a better world and your future. But you've got to sort out the mess we made.
Absolutely.
And as long as I'm on this planet, I don't know for how much longer, I intend to help and give you young people the hope that you can get through, because there's so much doom and gloom. To understand that more important than the color of our skin or our language, our nationality, our culture, our religion, more important than all of that is that we're all human beings, all capable of laughing. We cry, tears, we love, and we're family. Roots and Shoots actually is a family. So everywhere I go, and I do go all the time around the world, and I've just come back from Tanzania, Uganda, Japan, South Korea, as well as all around America and Canada, and I'm going to Brazil. Everywhere, young people like you, younger, older, are rolling up their sleeves and taking action.
What is your message for these young students?
My message to you and all students and all individuals, everybody, is that every day you live, you make some impact on the planet, and you get to choose what sort of impact you make.
You seem like you have a lot of fun.
Well, there's so much hard work. I mean, in between, like this morning, I recorded 5 videos, some of them long and difficult, had to be written and then recorded on my laptop. So I don't get any respite.
No vacations?
I haven't had a vacation in 40 years. I get the odd day, of course. You know, and I'm going to Brazil, and I will get one day in the forest, hopefully.
After Dr. Goodall's visit to Plymouth South, she stopped by the farmhouse. And here's Alex Sarides with more.
After her visit to Plymouth South, Dr. Goodall came to the farmhouse to see what the community has to offer. A lucky group of people, including current and former PSHS students, were able to tour the grounds of the farmhouse along with Dr. Goodall, making stops along the way. This included the studio, where there is an emphasis on creativity. South student Dylan Long spoke to the group about projects that he has been involved with. They then made their way over to the wilderness portion to meet some goats and listen to the Audubon Society and South teacher Mrs. Potter speak about their relationship with the farmhouse. There was information about how the farmhouse is working with local organizations to help rehabilitate and release seals back into the ocean. The tour concluded with stops at the wellness area, where guests were able to learn about relaxation techniques, the laboratory where fermentation and cider making processes were discussed, an actual sustainable farm on the grounds, and finally, the market, where guests were able to warm up with refreshments and entertainment. It was truly an amazing experience to welcome Dr. Goodall to our town. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm your special guest reporter, Alex Sarides.
Scrolling through TikTok is not uncommon to see challenges, but what happens when those challenges go too far?
Here's Gavin Carrara with the story.
Recently, the dangers of TikTok challenges have been gaining attention after kids have fallen seriously ill or worse, and that has school leaders cautioning teens to think before they act. This is great advice to all of us, as I am one who has tried the one-chip challenge, and I can say for certain it is not worth the risk.
For high school students, scrolling through TikTok and other social media sites is a part of daily life. While many videos on these sites might encourage you to try something new, some of these can be dangerous. One in particular being the one-chip challenge.
So you may have heard that the Worcester Public Schools had an issue with that, which really led to a very tragic situation. Don't have all the information regarding the entire details behind that, but then the Holliston Public Schools also had an issue that resulted in hospitalization. And we've had kids in our district as well that have had some medical issues, had to go get seen by a doctor.
We had 2 students last year that did the one-chip challenge at lunch and came in and they regretted it instantly after they had done it. But luckily, they were okay after they did it.
For school leaders and health officials, the dangers of eating anything for a challenge, whether it's something spicy or not even edible, are very concerning.
I don't think that kids should be doing them. I think the TikTok challenges, I believe, are dangerous for kids.
The TikTok challenges, the one-chip challenge are just, they can be a headache, to be quite honest, and particularly I think for our high school principals and administration. But really, when you see these challenges through social media and the influence that they have on adolescents, it doesn't typically lead to good outcomes.
This fall, Dr. Campbell sent a letter to families to highlight the danger of these social media challenges.
Adolescents, high school students, middle school students are the greatest consumers of social media, so it's really about educating students, educating families, trying to get awareness out there about like the impact of social media and how it can have a positive impact, but how it can easily go down a rabbit hole and being negative.
Even though Dr. Campbell has major concerns regarding these challenges, he does understand why teens are so likely to do them.
I would just say be a smart consumer. You're consuming social media 24/7, and just like anything else, you need to be in control of what you're consuming. So think about like the content that you're looking at, or what you're sharing, or where the source is coming from. Is it something that's going to help you as an individual? It's going to harm you? Will it harm someone that you care about? Just being mindful of like what you're picking and choosing, and sort of controlling your own destiny with that.
As teens, we need to think about the consequences before we do something that is potentially harmful, even if we think it is just a joke or a funny challenge. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm Gavin Carrara.
We're almost 2 months into the school year, And hopefully by now, you've had a chance to get involved in something here at Plymouth South.
And if you haven't, Panther TV's Ava Davey-Bissett shows us Plymouth South has something for everyone.
Each fall, students come down to the gym for the annual club fair. Here, we set up tables and students can find out all about what Plymouth South has to offer. And what we found out is that there truly is something for everyone. The club fair is organized by Freshman Academy Vice Principal Mr. Evans, who sees value to getting involved in the school community.
I think in life there's a lot of times where you don't exactly know exactly what you want to do or what's going to interest you, so you have to take some chances and try some different things. A lot of people didn't intentionally find the thing that they love, you know, it just they fell into it and then it became something that was really meaningful for them. And I think anything that anybody can get involved in and deeply involved with something, it's going to be meaningful for them.
With nearly 40 different after-school clubs and organizations, Plymouth South students have a chance to really get involved in the community. Care Club was new to our school last year, and students hope to see involvement grow this year.
Care Club is a club that we talk about how we can make our school a more diverse and inclusive place. It's important because living in Plymouth, it's not as diverse as we'd like it to be, so having a place where we can come after school to talk about, what's going on, current events, is just really important for our community.
So I think the reason we started Care Club is basically in the name, cultural awareness and racial equality. So I think that, to me, that's super important. We are kind of in this world where there's all sorts of racism and hatred, and there's a lot of people dealing with things like that need a place where they can go to come talk about it, get it off their chest, and kind of walk a mile in someone else's shoes and realize what they're going through too.
Philosophy Club is another place for deeper discussion.
Philosophy Club is like this club that you kind of go after school on Thursdays, and you really talk with Mr. Lippa and your classmates about sort of like these really like thought-provoking questions, like what is art, and like how do we think as a civilization. It's really cool. We talk about the teachings of Aristotle, Plato, Socrates. Yeah, so it's very interesting. It's thought-provoking. It's only like 40 minutes, very low commitment.
Our school has options for everyone, whether you want to talk about ways to change the school or the reality of our existence. Plymouth South has a club for everyone. It just takes a little exploring to figure out which one might be for you. And these are just two of the little-known clubs of our school that might be for you. Reporting from Panther TV, I'm Ava Davey-Bissett.
The art of crocheting has been around for centuries, and recently its interest among young people is on the rise. Here's Kira McLaughlin with more.
Here in room 207, a small group gathers on Monday afternoons for the Golden Years Club, where the main focus is spending time relaxing and crocheting. For Haley Tancredi, crocheting has been a part of life since she was a kid.
The thing that got me into crocheting is my grandmother. She made me this blanket when I was a baby, and I just thought it was cool. I was like, oh, I want to try it.
Well, crocheting was just a random hobby for Haley at first. During the last few years, she's gotten more into it thanks to the encouragement of her friend, Alyssa Freeman.
The first thing that I made was a bag for Alyssa. It was for her birthday. She was the one who actually got me into crocheting, like things for people. So I make bags, scarves, hats, sweaters, and like shirts or like tank tops.
So Haley's one of my best friends. She made me this sweater, and then she made me another like tank top thing that I actually wore in the musical last year.
For Haley, the satisfaction of making gifts for others is a big part of crocheting.
I feel very happy when I see people wear the things that I make or use the things that I make, or even me in general. I like looking at something and be like, oh, I made that, it's cool. And it's something I can do that's not really stressful, and it's time consuming. So if I'm ever bored, just see, oh, I'm gonna go crochet. It's cool.
While crocheting may be thought of as an art for older generations, it has gained popularity among teenagers, and students here at Plymouth South spend afternoons relaxing and crocheting at the weekly meetings of the Golden Years Club, which is led by Mrs. Sorensen.
The Golden Years Club, one of the things that a lot of students say that they really like about it is that it's really relaxing. It's very kind of like calm and chill. We can learn how to knit and crochet. We have puzzles. We have tea and hot chocolate. We have cookies. We usually put some music on. It's not a club there's a lot of pressure to like create something, or we don't have deadlines. We just get to kind of do a relaxing activity.
It's a very welcoming atmosphere. You just felt like comforted when you walked in because everyone like shared the interests and there was no like judgment of like, I don't know, doing like an old lady craft, so to speak.
The Golden Years Club meets every Monday from 2 to 3 here in room 207. If you're interested, stop by next week. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm Kira McLaughlin.
Whether you're a tourist or a local, a new shop downtown is something for everyone. Here's Rory Timlin with a look inside the new Plymouth General Store.
Located in the heart of downtown, the Plymouth General Store is open and has a little bit of everything. Today we got to take a look inside. From food and drinks to home goods and clothing, the Plymouth General Store is a place where you can find local brands and gifts for everyone on your list.
It was something that we felt downtown was missing, was a collaboration of local gifts, some fresh food, sandwiches, and really a community place where people can get a little bit of everything. We have everything from socks, jewelry, kitchenware, small groceries, sandwiches, a little bit of everything, candles, you name it.
For owner Tatum Stewart, owning a general store has been a lifelong dream.
I've been obsessed with general stores since I was about 5. I planned many of vacations around traveling to general stores, and I've been following them on Instagram for years, and I really wanted to open one of my own.
Whether her customers are local residents or just visiting, she hopes her store has something for everyone and reaches that general population.
I think that it will allow people who both visit and live locally to have a good variety in one location. They can pick up a sandwich, they can get a coffee mug with Plymouth on it, they can get a nice candle, a t-shirt, sweatshirt, so it really creates a one-stop shop.
As with any new business, Tatum says there are challenges, but so far it's been a positive experience.
I think it's the usual challenge of just getting the word out and marketing because, you know, there are certain generations who aren't on Instagram, aren't on Facebook, so it's really getting the word out there and finding effective ways to do that.
If you're looking for good food and local products, come down to the Plymouth General Store. Reporting from Panther TV, I'm Rory Timlin.
Definitely looks like a cool new place.
For sure. Now it's time to toss it over to Cash with sports.
When it comes to team sports, skills on the field are definitely noticed, but oftentimes players have an impact on the team for reasons beyond that. Here's Matt Crowley with the story.
He's been a part of the Plymouth South football program since his freshman year, and this player shows a true level of dedication to the sport. After every victory, home or away, the heart and soul of the Panthers celebrates, surrounded by his teammates, when Coach Dan Verzetti calls Anthony Enos into the post-game spotlight, where his spirit and dedication to the team shows.
I think as Dan started, we were all jumping around, hyped up after a game last year, and he just broke it out, and the circle just formed, and we just went with it. We ran with it.
His famous dance started after a game. I mean, we all formed a circle, we were all getting hyped, and then Enos just ran into the middle, and he just started going crazy, and we were all just loving it.
I think he's really just kind of added this personality that's really bigger than the game. I mean, my favorite part after a win is watching him dance in front of the whole team. That's kind of something that I've looked forward to. As soon as we get done with the handshake line, everybody's kind of waiting to see what kind of dance he'll do. So what he brings to the team is bigger than football, and I think that we all just love that he's a part of it.
For players, Enos is proof that the game is much more than what happens in the four quarters. While he may not be recognized for his play on the field or scoring touchdowns, to his teammates, his role is much bigger than that.
Anthony is a 4-year member of the football team. He's everything that you want in a player. He's coachable. He's enthusiastic. He just loves football. He loves to practice. He loves to play. He's just the consummate team guy.
He brings an energy and likability that no one else really does, and it's just a pleasure having him on the team, seeing him at practice all the time.
I think Enos, he's just a happy guy. He brings a positive energy to the team. When people are dragging in practice, you look over at Enos, he's always just smiling, putting in the work.
Enos was named game captain for week 1 of his senior year due to his leadership and inspiration. No matter what the circumstances, coach and players agree Enos gives his all each and every day, at practice, on the field, and on the sidelines.
I think he's kind of brave, to be honest.
He's loyal. He's funny. People don't know that he's a very funny kid, and he's dedicated. He's just, he works hard in the off season. He shows up to everything. He is willing to try different positions, whatever it takes for him to just get some time on the field. He's happy playing whatever position, defensive end, running back. He doesn't look for any glory or any credit. He just loves to be part of the team.
Anthony Enos is truly the heart and soul of the Plymouth South football team. His dedication to the team really shows all of us what it's like to be a role model. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm Matt Crowley.
For Panther fans, the nights under the lights aren't just about the game. It's about the fan experience that brings our school community together. Here's Lacey Monahan with more.
On most Friday nights, these stands are filled with dedicated Plymouth South football fans following the long tradition of students before them.
For Plymouth South students, sitting under the Friday night lights cheering on the Panthers is one of the highlights of being in high school. As each game opens with the kickoff, fans in the stands get ready to support their fellow Panthers. Whether a freshman or a senior, this group is all here for the same purpose.
I think the best part about the student section is that the school all comes together for one reason, and just to have fun and watch a football game.
There's so many supporters and how loud it gets, and it's just fun overall.
For South students, the fun isn't just coming to the games. It's being involved in the school spirit, collectively dressing up for different themes throughout the season.
Just showing up to the game and watching it is a lot different than actually dressing up and like getting involved.
I think that the themes really help everybody get together because everybody enjoys like dressing up and cheering together and yeah, just being together.
It enhances my experience because once we're all at the football games, we're all dressed up. It doesn't really matter who you're friends with. It almost feels like everyone's just together, everyone's dressed up, and everyone's just trying to have fun.
The themes are chosen weekly by a group of seniors known as the Lettermen.
Basically, at the beginning of the week, we all just see who has what ideas. If we all like an idea and we all agree upon it, then we decide that week and we tell Riley Kane, who's on the student body, and she sends it over to the Instagram, and that's how we spread the word.
Being a Letterman is something many non-football players look forward to being senior year.
I became a Letterman because our lacrosse captains were Letterman last year, and they told us that they were going to pass the tradition down to us. So me and my friends sort of started it and then asked a bunch of the boys to do it with us.
It's really cool because I've been seeing everybody else, all the other upperclassmen that graduated in the past years, be able to do it. It's always been something I've wanted to do, so yeah, I'm excited that I can do it now.
Each week, the goal for the Lettermen is to bring the school together and create a positive atmosphere for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Everything we cheer for is positive. You know, we don't call out numbers, we don't call out names. Everything we're doing is just spread positivity to the students, the other fans there, and the players.
I think it brings a better connection to all the kids, a cool bond, and it's just like every Friday, it's just something to do. I think it's fun.
These students are dedicated to the sport and bring an energy only found at Plymouth South. I'm Lacey Monahan reporting for Panther TV.
This year, I'll be catching up with a senior athlete from a different sport each month.
We're getting started with field hockey captain Addy Klaassen. Addy has been on the team since her sophomore year, leading her team. For Addy, being involved in high school sports has been a highlight in her high school career.
Oh, I feel like I'll always remember sports, especially like the friends part of it, the friendships you make and like, I don't know, practices and stuff. It's important to be able to work with others and not get stressed out. Always stay happy and positive.
The field hockey team wraps up their regular season next week. Best of luck for a strong finish. That's all for sports today. Here's a look at some highlights from the season so far and upcoming games for the Panthers. Zach and Aiden will be right back after the break.
Hello?
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 Okay.
Is this a prank?
Is anyone there?
Do you like scary movies?
All right, I'm gonna hang up now.
I'm gonna hang up now.
Oh my God!
Hello, Dylan.
Hey, Miss Vic. What are you doing in my house?
To invite you to the Horrorfest.
But what are you doing in my house?
To invite you to the Horrorfest. It's Friday, October 27th at 5 at the Pack.
As a comprehensive high school, Plymouth South is lucky to be home to 14 tech programs.
This year, we'll be giving you an inside look into many of these programs on our show.
Here's Angel Chumick with the Tech Talk.
In our first edition of TED Talk, we'll be taking you behind the scenes of Plymouth South's very own restaurant, Southside Fare, where the culinary students learn all there is to know about the restaurant industry. The desserts in this case don't go unnoticed by students walking by daily, and the senior privilege of ordering lunch here is something everyone looks forward to. But just what happens behind these doors? Guided by 3 teachers who spent years working in the culinary arts industry, students in this shop are exposed to the ins and outs of the restaurant industry. From baking to cooking and running the front of the house, students learn about it all.
Culinary, for me, I think it's great if you decide to progress your career in culinary arts. You can have a fantastic career.
The skills taught in this shop have led former students to big roles in the industry, from being a head pastry trainer at a Gordon Ramsay restaurant like 2015 graduate Tiara Willis, and even owning numerous restaurants like a Lumbo McMillan. The goal here is to prepare students for their future.
Really, all students. For us, it depends on your attitude and what you're willing to do. If you're willing to learn and take direction, you could be very successful in this career.
And while many have found success in culinary, some are here for the life skills in the kitchen.
I started it my sophomore year. I switched into it, and I was pretty intimidated because I didn't know how to bake or cook a lot, but I've definitely learned a lot since I started.
It's good just to have these skills that you can cook for your family, your friends, loved ones. Whether it's a birthday party or if it's a barbecue, you'll learn some skills that will help you throughout your life.
100%. I think it's very good. Even if you don't want to go into the culinary field, it's good for cooking outside of culinary, baking for holidays, anything that involves food.
Whether it's skills or a hobby, you can be sure spending your high school career in culinary will leave you with skills for a lifetime. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm Angel Chummick.
This year, we're putting a new twist on a Panther TV classic.
In today's Prowling the Halls, I ask you, what's your favorite animal and why?
My favorite animal is a panther because I am a panther.
And I would definitely be a cow because they make my favorite product, which is lactose things, cheese, milk, all of it. And they go, moo!
And my animal would be a horse because they're just cool and stuff.
So my favorite animal is probably my dog Pickles. Ruff ruff.
My favorite animal is a blobfish because they look funny.
Oh. Why?
My name is Chris Berry. I want to be a tiger.
My favorite animal is an owl because they're pretty.
And I'd be a dog because they're my favorite animal.
My favorite animal is an elephant.
My favorite animal is a cat because, they're chill and lazy.
I would be a pig because my favorite color is pink.
I'd be a bird because you can fly and see everything.
I really like puffer fishes because I like the way they sound.
My favorite animal is a sloth because there are a lot of things about that animal that just aren't shared with any others in its family. And they are so slow they don't make noises.
I'd be a duck because I like bread.
I don't know if I have a favorite animal, but I have a least favorite animal, and they are sheep. And my noise for a sheep is meh.
So Aiden, what's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal, Zach, is a panther because I'm 100% panther.
That's our time for today. Thanks for joining us.
Have a great day, Plymouth South.